The skeleton coast of Namibia is one of the harshest environments on the planet. Yet a diversity of life manages to survive, even thrive in these challenging conditions. There's no better example than the brown hyena. We're in Colemanskop in southern Namibia, and it's hard to believe that 70 short years ago, this was a thriving little town, a place where the very first alluvial diamonds were discovered. Through some changes in the diamond industries, this has become a ghost town, and the desert is well on its way to reclaiming everything that man put here. We're on our way even further south to find a researcher who's spending time with a very rare and elusive species, a species that not many people have seen, and far less have actually collared and captured. Now I'm following a fairly sketchy set of instructions on my way to Baker's Bay. She said as we come across the salt pan, as soon as I get to the dry sand, I should park the car, walk over a ridge, and I should see a seal colony. So let's see. I can certainly smell a seal colony, I'll tell you that. Okay, this looks like where it's getting dry. Right, I think this is probably the spot. Okay, well, it looks like a big pink rock over there. I'm not sure if that's the spot or not. I can't quite see. But there's certainly a seal colony. There's a beautiful beach. And she said, walk up, you'll see a beach and a seal colony, and walk south. So here we go. Yep, I think that's her. A tiny little speck of humanity in this incredible wilderness. Wow, I had no idea. She said, meet me on the big pink rock. What an amazing place. Just seal bones everywhere. You must be Marie. I followed your directions all the way here. Thank you for having me here. Wow, what a place.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, nice to meet you too.
So this is a very nice viewpoint of the colony.
Sure. And this is the rock that you've spent 1,500 hours on.
Exactly.
Gee.
Baker's Bay is actually located on the coast of the Tsokub National Park. It's a restricted mining area, so not a lot of people are allowed to get in there. And Baker's Bay is actually also a seal colony. So the species that I'm studying here are the brown hyenas. Here on the coast, they're actually the main carnivores, the main predators, with the black-backed jackals. And they are kind of desert adapted, and they mostly rely on the colony of Cape Fur seals for food. And they're usually quite an elusive species. But what's interesting here is that we have a lot of diurnal hyenas that actually visit the colony during the day. And this is why it makes it so interesting and so fascinating for me to study the brown hyenas here in Baker's Bay.
You must have seen some amazing stuff from them.
Really, yeah.
So how many hyenas have you got named here?
Oh, name around here and other areas like over 100.
What?
Yeah, but regular visitors I have around 15. And then you have occasional visitors to the area, but that also includes the hyenas that I caught on my camera traps.
Okay.
So it's not only the hyenas.
So where have you got your camera traps?
I have them spread out all around the seal colony.
I'd like to see those one of these days.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can take you there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Marie has spent over 1,500 hours observing brown hyenas in this area. This kind of observational research is essential to good conservation.
I'm checking that side because most of my hyenas actually come from the north.
Okay, cool.
I think I have a clan that side and a clan that side, and so I have always the same individuals coming from the north and different ones that usually come from the south.
Are they coming to the colony every day?
It depends. I have some individuals that I see almost every day, and then I have some individuals that I won't see for like 6 months, and then they'll be back.
And I mean, these jackals, I mean, tell me a little bit about these jackals. Have you got to know them too?
Some of them, they're not as easy to recognize individually because the hyenas, it's easy with the ear notch, the leg stripes. But the jackals, they all look the same, except for some that have some injuries, broken legs. But some mornings I had over 40 jackals at the seal colony. And they just always follow the hyenas, try to steal food from the hyenas. And they're just very curious animals. So many times I turn my back, look at a hyena, and a jackal comes and tries to steal my backpack, you know?
That's cool.
What an epic day. I mean, it's cold here, it's desolate, it's arid, one of the harshest environments on this planet. And having met Marie and starting to understand what an incredible species she's studying, the sun's setting behind me on a harsh, angry ocean. This is going to be an epic adventure.
We spend the night in a nearby ghost town, adding to the mystery of this inhospitable coast. Well, after a night spent in a ghost town, sun is rising. We're on the western coast of Namibia, and Marie's just arriving for my first full day out here exploring this incredible habitat. Morning, Marie. How are you?
Morning, Ivan. How are you?
Good, thank you. Very, very well. Nice to have a night in the ghost town.
So usually my most active time for brown hyenas at the seal colony is actually around midday.
Yeah.
Usually arrive between 9:30 and 10, and it's quite active until like 2 o'clock in this afternoon. So that's why we're doing the camera traps now in the early morning so that we don't miss too much activity there.
Yeah. And the nice thing about the camera traps, I suppose, is that they are your eyes even when you're not here.
Exactly. And they also work at night, which is difficult for me to do observation at night, so that's a valuable tool. I often have hyenas on the camera traps during the night that I've actually never seen at the colony during the day. So I think those are very nocturnal hyenas, and it's very interesting to see them often on the camera traps to be able to identify them.
And they don't chew your camera traps, eh?
Oh, they do. Yeah, you really need to put a metal case around because otherwise the camera trap is gone in 1 week.
Here we are. So what made you choose this site, Marie?
This one, we have a brown hyena latrine.
Okay.
So this is where they go and they poop.
Yeah.
But they also use that as a scent marking spot.
Okay, perfect. So pretty much every hyena that comes past here is going to visit here and hopefully get on the trap.
Not all of them, but quite a good number of them will stop right in front of the camera so we can get good photographs of the legs.
Looks like they've been doing territory markings right on here.
Yes, exactly. That is some old paste mark from the hyenas. All right. Okay, looks like we have 320 photos since last time I checked it.
And when was the last time?
It was around 3 weeks ago.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, so I'm just going to take this SD card out now. And I will replace it. Or sometimes I get thousands.
Really?
Especially the one at the freshwater spring where jackals are there all the time. You know, they keep on triggering the camera. So that's why I'm checking them every time I come here. I check them so that I make sure that the batteries are always running and that we don't lose data.
Oh, what a lot of important data you're gathering.
Exactly. I know we need to put colors on the hyena.
Oh,
and
that's
actually
very
the vets should be arriving, so maybe we should go and wait for them.
Yeah, let's go and wait for them. And hopefully we get to put a collar on.
Yes.
Marie and I are meeting the vet team, Ulf and Mariska, here at the base camp.
How are you guys doing?
Hi, Ivan. How are you doing?
Nice to see you.
Hello.
Ulf, Ivan.
Nice, right?
I'm Ivan.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to be here again. Yeah. It's always a privilege to be here. Yeah, and your plan of action?
Well, I have 2 GPS collars. That's my priority that I really want to fit to get some good data. Then I would like to capture Brisbane again that we colored last year because his collar is broken and I'd like to have it removed. And then if we catch any other hyena, then we can just get samples and measurements and that would be good.
Let's get you unpacked and settled in and see if we can get one darted. Yeah. Cool.
Good.
Great.
We're going to be heading out to Marie's Rock. and wait there for the hyenas to come to us.
The jackal's out early this morning, and hopefully the hyenas will soon follow. Darting any animal is tricky. The sedative needs to be the smallest dose possible, but also effective enough to down the animal for its safety and the safety of the team.
Then we're going to sit on Marie's rock. There's a pattern. These animals come in here, they look around here for scraps, and then they come out again. And so there's this narrow kind of funnel where hopefully when they go in here, Dr. Ulf can come out here, he can sit next to one of these rocks and ambush them on the way out. So hopefully today's the day we get a dart and an animal and a collar on. We've been up here for about an hour. Everybody's quietly kind of settled into a spot on the rock that they feel comfortable. Everybody's looking, everybody's in their own little world. But we're all thinking about the same thing. When's the first hyena going to show up?
A few hours later, we see one. Brown hyenas have sharp senses, so Ulf heads down alone to get in position without being detected.
Where's it gone now? It's going down, we have to go.
The hyena moves onto the open beach, closer to its prey, but making it harder to get close enough to dart without spooking him. The noise of the seals reacting could be enough to cover Ulf's approach. Brisbane is looking for a seal pup that he can single out to prey on.
You say the hyena's down?
He's down, yeah.
So they've actually got one of the hyenas, which they're going to just remove the collar. I wish I could put my hands on this hyena, but hopefully there'll be another one soon.
I stay up at Marie's rock to look for a viable candidate to collar coming in from the other direction.
This is Brisbane. This is a hyena that we collared last year. And his collar stopped working after only 3 months. And they have a drop-off mechanism, but unfortunately this one didn't work, so we couldn't drop the collar from a distance. So I'm very happy that we were able to capture him again today, so we can remove his broken collar and he can be free from now.
You can see he's been in a fight.
That's damage from teeth bite. The hyenas, when they fight, they do what we call neck fighting, and they bite each other's neck. And this is how the collar broke after only 3 months.
Not so easy. This guy's blood pressure is quite low.
Now that we removed the GPS collar, I'm just putting a visual collar on him. It's very light, it's just like a dog collar, but it would be easier for us to identify him from a distance. Or if he moves away and someone sees him with the visual collar, there's a number on it, we can know where the hyena was seen. I'll take all the measurements, right or left lower. Well, we're just measuring the teeth because the size of the teeth can also give us indication about the age of the hyena. I'm sorry, Brisbane. The teeth are on this hyena worn up, and that's really a sign that he's a very old guy. The lower right is 1.1.
All of the data recorded from individuals contributes to long-term research. Brown hyenas are elusive, and there's still so much that we don't know about them.
So she lost a lot of weight. He lost 10 kilos since last year.
This research will aid in better understanding this population of hyenas, which in turn can be used to practice sustainable ecotourism in the future that doesn't negatively impact on the animals or their habitat. It's time to wake Brisbane up so the reversal drug is injected to neutralize the sedative. And Brisbane is up and back roaming the desert.
Well, here comes a hyena. He's missing a back foot. He's coming straight into this colony in front of us, so I'm sure we're going to get a good view of him. In most systems, hyenas are scavengers. They're eating dead food, they're eating leftovers, they're finding the odd bone and they're finding the odd piece of skin
remnants of other kills and dead animals. In this particular system, if they can't find a dead one, they go from being scavengers to very proactive hunters. To witness a brown hyena hunting in the wild. What a truly special moment. This hyena will now take the seal's body and all of its nutrients further into the desert, sustaining many other forms of life.
I was just wondering if Seoul, the one that's missing a foot, if he's still at the colony with you or if he left.
No, he left and he came your direction.
The team has several hyenas in sight, including Sul, the one missing a foot. I head up to join them and see if a collaring opportunity presents itself. The Skeleton Coast is famous for its thick fogs, and the weather changes quickly in this extreme climate. A hyena has emerged from the mist in Ulf's line of sight. Nice big healthy one, eh? Maria and I are going to fit the collar while the vet team start taking samples. We just got to keep our noise and the stimulus as low as possible because he's not very heavily sedated, which is how we want it.
Okay. First time we put it at 1, 2, 3, 4. But that might be a bit tight. No.
The primary reason for darting this animal here is to put a collar on. But while the animal's down, as many samples, tissue samples, blood samples, as much as we can do. I mean, this is a secretive animal. There's not a lot of people who've put their hands on brown hyenas and not a lot of people who've measured all of this stuff. And so even though we're sitting out here in the middle of a very rare rain shower, we're getting as much as we can out of this opportunity. What we're doing is taking some anal paste. They've got very, very complex anal glands and they communicate a huge amount of information.
This one has a lot.
So this one's got a lot of paste.
Do you see the white inside? Okay.
Okay, now we're going to take the black paste. Yeah.
Yeah, those are very beautiful.
Beautiful teeth, eh?
I think that's a quite young animal.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy that we could put the collar on him. I think he will give me good data.
Geneva, the young male, is up quickly after the antidote is given.
Wow, just seeing that hyena run away makes me so happy.
Yeah, me too. I'm very glad that we managed to put at least one collar.
Congratulations, eh? That's awesome.
Good job.
These scruffy-looking survivors of the desert deserve our utmost respect for their ability to thrive in the harshest of conditions. Ulf sets out on foot. It's hard to find cover in this arid landscape. As the weather clears, we spot more hyenas. We have time for one more collaring before dark. This individual is injured, so the team won't collar him, but the various samples can be taken will still provide valuable data. With a hyena in his sights, Ulf needs to move quickly to take the shot. Well, we've got to dart into this animal. It's not an animal we want to collar. However, it's going to be great to get all of the samples, get all of his weights and his measurements. So a lot of valuable science will come from this. Look at all of these scars, There's more competition here than probably any other place on the planet for brown hyenas competing with each other. Thank you. His teeth are just completely worn out. He's missing a back foot. This truly is a desert warrior. So they're busy taking samples of his anal paste, which actually is really dry. That's what they use for territory marking. They're taking samples of blood, samples of hair. The better you can understand a creature, the better you can conserve them.
Tough animal, eh? You get this one?
When you see a very old animal like this and knowing that he's survived in this incredibly arid environment, as tough as they are sensitive, the wrong human impact. This is a species that can slip off the brink of extinction without anybody even realizing. And thank goodness there's people like Marie and teams like this that are working hard in these incredibly harsh environments to make sure the species survives. So because he's old and he's already fairly compromised, we're going to give him the antidote straight away. We want to make sure that he's okay. Well, the hyena's up. He's healthy. We've got a lot of data from him. That's the end of a successful day.
In the end, we just want to create a sustainable ecotourism brown hyena viewing site. They are not very well known, the hyenas, so their reputation is not so good. So I think creating such an ecotourism site could help with their reputation and in the end help with the conservation of the species.
My journey with Marie and learning about not just the brown hyena, but the delicate nature of this ecosystem. People look at a desert and they think that, well, that's just a wasteland. We can use it for dumping toxic waste. We can use it for generating wind energy. I hope that through people like Marie, people can understand that these arid environments are also vibrant, very important ecosystems that exist. And just because it's not a lion or a giraffe or an elephant doesn't make the species that live in this ecosystem any less important.